Okay there, morning everybody on Facebook. I'm just going to make sure that I am coming out live before I start my little demonstration about how to start off RSMs, so reward specific markers. So let's just check. Oh yeah, all good. So I should be coming out live. Perfect. Make sure that I am. Perfect. So this little session, this morning session is going through how to teach RSMs, so reward specific markers and location specific markers. Hopefully somebody will join me to just let me know that I'm coming out all right. If you could just give me a thumbs up to just let me know that you can hear me, that would be great. Just to make sure that my audio is coming out. Hey, you know I've got a toy in there, don't you? Good girl. So just let me know that my audio is coming out. Actually, I could probably... perfect. Excellent. Okay, cool. So yesterday's session, I talked through about using RSMs, reward-specific markers. I talked through using reward-specific markers and location-specific markers to help our dogs have more clarity and understanding when we are training them. So I talked through how I found them or how I discovered them, and it was in being inspired by two really great dog trainers, Shade Wetzel and Fanny Gott, who both had used them numerous years ago, and I started playing with the concept with my own dogs, and then it was a significant dog that one of my clients' dogs or students' dogs that I used it with, that really got me thinking about how effective they can use. So fast track now, probably 15 years later, I've been using RSMs and LSMs for that period to help my dogs have clarity. So this session is going to really look at how to teach them and how to train them. So in this session, I'm going to be working on teaching the puppy or working on the puppy's RSM or reward specific marker for toys. And I'm going to show you her reward specific markers with food. So her toy play is it's great on its own. I've still got to develop her ability to switch between food and toys, especially when it's high value food. She won't necessarily switch easily. Low value food, she has no problem. That's a real typical thing that your puppies will do. So you want to first work through that before you start trying to alternate between your RSMs. It's really important that the dog will take the reinforcement that you offer and that the dog has skills around that reinforcement. So for example, if I was going to use a toy, it's really important that my dog will let go of the toy, bring the toy back, or at least I can manage it before I start using my RSMs in a formal situation. So she's still learning her RSMs. Take this jumper off. She's still learning her RSMs and her LSMs. So it's not imperative that I have certain skills like a release of a toy she hasn't got. Really great. I just take it off her. I'm just building up the one association of her toy marker, her marker word that means toy, not necessarily how the toy is going to come to it. So I haven't taught her RSM where the toy is going to be thrown because she doesn't bring the toy back. That's a work in progress. So consider that when you introduce an LSM or an RSM, make sure that you have the prerequisite skill. So obviously if I am going to use my food marker cues and my toy marker cues simultaneously, the caveat to that is that the dog must be able to switch between the two things or you're going to get conflict in your training. So first put in that groundwork and before you start to introduce your RSMs and LSMs. So the thing that I can do with her is obviously start, because she's got really good toy drive, obviously without the distraction of food, I can start to condition her to that word means a toy is on its way. The word that I use is WIN. Again, you will notice that I'm spelling it. That's a really critical element. Pick words and cues that you aren't going to use in everyday life and potentially desensitize your dog to those words. So I personally don't use yes or good as specific markers. I can use them generally when I'm conversing to my dogs, or if I'm shaping, I can use it as an indication that they're doing something correct, but it's not a specific marker. The reason being is that often I will use those words when I'm conversing with other people and my dogs are around me, and there's a possibility that they could be desensitized to it. For me, I want my reward-specific marker, RSM, location-specific marker, LSMs, to be really salient and powerful to my dogs. If they hear them, they should have an instantaneous reaction to them, and it should be really, really powerful. So it's really important that you consider the words that you're going to use. So as I explained yesterday, it's really important to start with just the basics of food versus toy. Obviously, initially don't try and switch them between the two, certainly when they were babies, like with Beryl. But certainly as they get older, I can intersperse them, or I can switch them around. So when you're considering the word, pick words that you are comfortable with. I use words that spring to mind and are easy for me to remember. I use words that are associated with the delivery of the reinforcement, so it reminds me where and how to use them. So strike is a good one when it's from my toy, because I can see the dog striking for the toy. Similarly with chase, it's something that instantly springs to mind when I'm throwing a toy. So use words that are that resonate with you. That's another important factor when you're considering the markers. Start off with just things that your dog has those prerequisite skills. You know, if you throw a toy, your dog's going to go run and react to it and grab it and bring it back to you, as opposed to if you say the cue and the dog doesn't have that reaction, it's going to devalue the marker cue, all right? So when you start it off, the pattern should be say the word, hesitate, deliver the reinforcement. That's something that a lot of people forget to do, and therefore you won't have the same effect if you were to, for example, simultaneously say the word and deliver the food. The dog isn't going to necessarily resonate and make that connection between the word predicting the food or the toy being delivered in a certain manner. So you need to introduce that distinct pause before you deliver the reinforcement. So I'm going to show you with the puppy how to start that off. First thing, obviously, I've got two toys in my hand. She does have one marker cue with toys, which I'm going to attempt to use here. Which is to alternate between two toys. So I'll show you that. So obviously the first thing is I need to make sure that she's interested in the toy. So when you get your puppy or your young dog out, or any dog, you're starting this off with an older dog, first just explain to them or get them into the game. Ready? Get the toy, good girl. So I'm just getting her psyched up about the toy. I'm going to put my second toy away. Good girl. And obviously, as I explained, she doesn't have a release of a toy, so I'm going to just take it off. Good girl. And how I'm going to take it off is I'm just going to pick her up, which then tends to encourage her to let go of it generally. Good girl. Yeah, nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say the word. Okay, she can be milling around. Okay, win. Psh, good girl. And I reward the dog. Okay, you don't have to add the sound effects. That's just for my own personal reminder. Good girl. Then I can play with her again. Good girl. Whoa. Good girl. Thank you. So pick her up again. Daddy. Good. So it doesn't matter what she does. So ideally you could say, ask the dog to OUT if you have that skill. She doesn't, so I'm not using it. Win. Yeah. Good. So say the word, momentary hesitation, and then play with the dog. Good girl. Oh, you missed it. Oh, you missed it. So I can get a sneaky one in there because she let go of the toy. Win. Yeah, nice one. Good. That's it. Whoa. So now I'm going to use another marker cue. So you can note there, being really deliberate about that spacing between saying the words. So I'm going to show you one with a new marker cue. So, switch. Good. So you can see there, she starts to let go of the toy as soon as she heard that cue. And that word means to come onto a second toy. It doesn't mean to release this toy and pause. It means to drive to a second toy. So I'm doing it. Switch. Yeah. So no reaction on that one, but I'm going to now make it happen. Yeah, that's it. So because I'm conditioning the dog to respond, there is no consequence. She doesn't have to, it's not a right or wrong. I'm going to make it happen. Yeah, I'm using classical conditioning. Yeah, make it happen or cause the association between the two things. Yeah. Switch. Yeah, good girl. Nice, good. Okay, so now I can see if I'll hesitate for a second. So now I'm going to see if she'll release and understand. There's some understanding happening. Switch. Yes, there's a little tiny thought. Ha 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 ha. Woo, good girl. Nice one. Yeah, good girlie. Ha 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 ha. And I can also do it this way because I don't want necessarily my dog's voice to release, so it might be all to release as a predictor. So switch. Yeah, ha ha ha. Get that one. So I'm going to let go of the toy, and yeah, good girl. So that means spit the toy out, get the second toy. Yeah, good girlie. Good girl. Nice. Good. So making sure that you say the word, hesitate, and then introduce the cue, the marker. Whoa, get your tugger. Good girl. So she's going, oh, let's go back to one of these. Win. Yeah. Good. Okay. So say the word, pause, play with the puppy. Oh, good girl. Nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's so clever. Oh, she's so clever. She's so clever. I got it. So now I'm going to see if she'll offer a behaviour. Doesn't really matter what it is. Win. Yeah, nice. To get her to understand that she can now cause me to click her or to use that marker word if she offers me something. At this stage, I'm only teaching, so I'm her the association. I'm teaching her the marker word, not the specific behaviour. That I would do obviously separately. It's really just getting the dog to understand that she can instigate or incite me to click her. Yeah. See if we do something else. So I'm going to wait for her to offer me another behaviour. See what she does. Win! Yeah! It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not being specific about that in this session. It's just teaching the puppy that she can cause me to click her. Okay? So once I've gone past the teaching phase of her... Switch! Yeah! Good. Once I've got past the initial step of teaching the association between the two things, it might take you, half a dozen reps, more than that, to build the association. Depending on the dog, you might want to do that over a couple of sessions, just pairing the marker word with the action or the reinforcement, okay? So I'm going to move on now to food and show you the same thing. So, thank you, pups, good girl, well done, look at that, good girl. So, I've got some treats in here, and I'm going to teach her marker, or go over her marker word. She does understand these, or she has some understanding of conditioning her to respond to a click for food. So my words are going to be, yep, yeah, so which is, food's being delivered and it's going to be delivered with motion, okay? Ooh, good girl. That was too big a bit. Here you go, look. Boop, boop. Good, nice, good girl. Good girl. Yep, yeah. Come on. Good, nice, good. Was that big bit before? Yep, nice. Get it? Good. So fast moving food. That's what that particular click means. Okay. So now I'm gonna. So again, saying the cue or saying the marker, I should say. So yep, yeah. Now I can obviously deliver it fast in my hand or have her move towards it. Okay. So I'm gonna do that version. Yep, nice. Good. Good kitty. Yep, nice. Okay, good girl. Good. Oh, there it is. Yay, good. Oh, hang on. Oh, here it is. It's here. Good there. Good, nice. Okay, so I'm just saying the marker cue or the marker word and pairing it with my action. So, see if she looks at me so I can start to click something I like. Just wait her out. Nice! Go on in. Whoa. Yeah. Wee, good girl. Nice. Good one. That was really good. There you go. Ready? Yep. Yeah. Get it. Nice. Well, that's better. Go. Twist. Yep. Yeah. Good. So that's my marker word for the food being delivered in a dynamic way is YIP. And what I'm doing there, as you can see, is it's building arousal with food, okay? So it was really my schnauzer that caused me to tweak that reinforcement marker, because, good girl, well done, because I had just YIP as a generic food marker, so he caused me to tweak it and add another marker cue. I had my food in position, or my delivering food in position marker cue already trained with my dogs, but he really made me consolidate it, certainly with him, because he's a dog that gets easily aroused by movement. So we're going to now move on to my static marker word, which is where I'm going to feed the dog in position. Okay, so this one is more where the dog, the food's going to go to them. So as opposed to moving, okay, I'll show you. So this word is going to be snack. Good. So you can see the reward delivery is passive, snack, and the food goes to the dog, yeah? Snack. Good. So again, say the phrase, snack. Good. Break. Yep. Yeah. Good. So I can pair them there because I want her to anticipate that YIP means move. Snack. Good. So she's obviously understanding snack to remain in position because she knows that I'm going to be consistently saying that word. Snack. Good. Snack. Break. Yep. Yeah. Here it is. Look. It's here. It's here. Good girl. Well done. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah. Whoa, good girl. Yeah. So, good baby. So I can teach those marker cues initially without the distraction of the dog having to learn, or the complexity of having the dog learn something specific. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to progress it and show you an example of me actually working on a skill, two skills specifically, where I can use those two marker words in different ways. So the first one is one that she knows already, so that is a platform. I'm just going to see if I've got some different treats, because she's not manic on these, and that's a really important thing. You want to use treats that the dog absolutely will go mad for. So I'm going to just go and see if I can change these. Come, baby. Good girl. Good. Good girl. Oh, that's better. So, really critical element is making sure that you have reinforcement the dog is really, really into. I deliberately tried using a low value treat so I could get some toy play out of her. But now I'm switching to high value treats. So this is just steak. Oh, look. Oh, yes, yummy. No, hang on. Yes. Hang on. Oh, let's just check that she likes that. So that's a bit of chicken. Oh, yummy. The big bit. The challenges of training a small dog. Oh, you're not sure, is it because it's cold? Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, let's try that. Oh, you're not a fan. A bit of steak. Let's put that in there. So let's figure this out first. So, really critical element. Obviously, depending on your puppy or your dog, you want to really evaluate first and foremost, yeah, what the reinforcement is. Now, oh, I'm not a fan of steak, she says. Good. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, let's try that treats again. Let's see if you, yeah, look, do you want this? Go. So I can separately work on her switching between lots of different foods. So I'll ideally, if I'm training a puppy or a dog for food, I'll use food that the dog really, really likes. Several ways in which I can do that. Obviously, keep really high value treats for exciting things. Not it's giving them. To be fair, she's done a bit of training this morning, so she could just be a little bit full. Using food and pairing it with fun activities. So she was a dog that good girl. She definitely needed food drive developed with her. So one of the things that I did was do lots of fast moving food to cause her to find food exciting. So I need to bear that in mind as she grows and develops, that I'm not taking that for granted. So that's where my reward markers are going to really, really help. So let's go back to the food that you responded to. And I'm going to distinguish between, let's see if we can do a bit of play between. Let's chance our arm. Ready? Real life dog training, let's see what happens. Yeah, good. Okay, so win. Yeah, good. Nice. So she's reacting nicely to the toy, which again is great progress. But like everything, you get one skill and you have to go back and revisit another. So let's see what happens. Okay, come here then. Give me that thing. Oh, that's better. Good. Right, so let's put that in my pocket. See if she understands this behaviour, okay? And you can see me then using the two different markers. Okay, so good girl. Nice feed. So again, I'm marking her with a verbal. It's a generic word. A praise. Yeah, good girl. Good. So I'm letting her figure out that doesn't get reinforcement. Let's see what happens. Good girl. Yeah! So I'm going to use my fast moving food because I want to build a bit more attitude to that. She was way too passive going towards the platform. Yeah. Go on in. So I can create more excitement and arousal by using that specific marker cue, okay? So let's see if she does it again. Good. Yep, yeah, that's it. So I'm moving her off. That click allows her to break. Good girl. Good girl, Ruddle. Oh, she's, I'm not really hungry this morning, Ruddle. Get that toy. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's good. Get that toy. Good. So she's doing, which is great. I'm really pleased with the fact that she's switching. Ironically, it's actually put her off her food a little bit. So it's always about balance when you train dogs. Good girl. So let's see if we can do one before. We've not done this before. This will be good to see. Oh, you're a toy. You're a toy. Okay, let's see if she can work this out. Win! Yeah! Nice! So that's her first ever click with her toy marker word, because now she's been able to switch between the two things. So that's great progress for you. Oh, okay, so let's see what happens. How do I get the toy? Win! Yeah! Nice one! Yeah? So that's excellent for her. I'm really, really pleased with that. So now obviously if I consistently did that reward marker paired with that behaviour, I'm going to create a level of arousal or instability within the behaviour. So whilst it's great for initially building drive and interest in the behaviour, I may want to create more stability. So that's where my reward markers are going to really come into their own. So, oh, okay, thank you. That toy. Oh, good girl. Okay, let's see if she does this, okay? So I'm going to go back to, nice, my food marker. See if she works it out. Good girl. Snack. So feed her in position. Good. Well done. Oh, that was too big a tree. There you go. Well, yes, that's a bit smaller. Let's see what happens. So normally if she does that at this stage she's learning, it's not the end of the world. I just wait her out. Good girl. And hopefully, good. Snack. Good. Yeah, nice. So I can feed her in position, which is all I wanted. Good girl. Yeah, good. Well, good girl. Nice. There's a little crumb. Good girl. Good girl. She's licking at them, but she's not super into them. Let's change it up. Good. So again, a prerequisite is making sure the dog wants the reinforcement. For some reason, good. Get that one. Get here. Do you want that one? Oh, she's not into the food today. Oh, so she's avoiding it. Okay, so I'm going to think on my feet, and I'm going to use just my marker word for food, toys. So because there's a potential now, if I persist trying to work on giving her food, which she's clearly not interested in enough, she's taking it, but she's taking too long to eat it, and she's being a little bit picky with it. And that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to think on my feet, and I'm actually going to use another marker word which she hasn't had before. Yeah. So let's try it. Let's do one reminder of her one that she knows. See what happens. Ooh. Let's go back and shape this. Good. 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 So I'm going to break this down because she's obviously getting a little bit confused about what I want, or because the power of the reinforcement isn't there, she's going, I'm reluctant to do behaviour. Let's get a tiny bit and I'm going to build it back up. Ooh. Ooh. So, think on my feet, get another toy. Ooh. Did you want that toy? Do you want that toy? Win! Yeah! So I'm going to go back. I'm going to shape her using a reinforcement that she values. Okay. Keep her interested. Good. Good. See, good girl. So typical with puppies, yeah, they tend to do things like this where they lose focus, they're not sure. She's conflicted about the reinforcement, so I'm going to attempt to work her through it. So you can see in real-time terms, she's just wandering off sniffing, what I would do. Let's have a look. So I'm going to wait for it to come back. So I would flip the camera, but I don't think it will stretch that there. Good. So she's just sniffing over there for a second. Here we go. Here she comes. So I'm not going to reward her. I want a little tiny bit of a reaction. Hey. Whoa, sis. Win! Yes! She looked at it. Get that toy. Get that toy. So I'm going to go right back now and rebuild her understanding. So that's good. Puppy. Yeah, good girlie. Good one. Super puppy. Good. Switch. Yo, get that one. That's the best one. That's the best one. Good. Yeah, good. Good. Thank you. Pop up. Thank you. Let's get a tiny bit. Win. Yeah, that was it. Brilliant. So I'm going to, rather than going for her just stepping on it, I'm just going to go back and build her want and desire. So again, this is the beauty of a reward specific marker. She's telling me that the reward isn't enough and I'm going to stop using that one in this session. So that tells me there's more groundwork to be done before I put in my reward specific marker. Her reward specific marker on her food is normally good. It could be that she's probably had a little bit too much. She's been doing quite a lot this morning. She did have a bone and some enrichment feeding, so that can obviously affect her interest in food, but I can persevere with toys, so not a problem at all. Gonna think on my feet and work through that issue. Good girl. Yeah, good girlie, aren't you? You're clever. Oh, she's so good. She's so naughty. Oh, so I'm not letting go. Letting go of the toy. So I want to play this game. I want to play. So, as you can see, she's going, no, not interested in that, doing that behaviour. So I'm going to think on my feet and I'm going to abort with that particular, let me think, where is it? Where am I put it? Good. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, left it in. Oh, I know. You love this toy. Okay, let's try this. So, hip up. Win. Good. Use another toy. Make it interesting. Go back to this one. No, she says, no, I want to play that game. Win. She looked at it. So I'm playing on it. Good girlie. Right? Or I'll switch her into this toy. So she's fluked it more than anything. I know you want that toy. I know you want that toy. I know you want that toy. Let's see how she goes. I know. It's a fun one, isn't it? How'd you get it? I know. This is what you call a don't want to, don't have to moment, where the puppy's going, no, I don't feel like doing that thing. So I'm going to, almost. I could have had that. Feel cheeky. I'm not going to bail her out. Let's see if she can work for it. Oh, it's a fun toy. You can't have it. You can't have it. You can't have it. You can't have it. Win. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's my girl. That's the one. Brilliant. Yeah. 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 Well done, pup. That was really good. So playing on it. So I'm going to work her through that again. Oh. Okay, let's try again. Hang on. Cheetah. So rather than her just jumping at me, I would like her to make a connection between how to get this item. I know, it's hard, isn't it? I don't know what you want. Win. Yeah, good. I'm going to stop there on that one, yeah? So I'm not going to, the reality is she's not going to give me exactly what I want, so I'm going to make it easier for the dog, and I'm going to reward her, obviously, with a toy marker word to get that success. Now, if I had, for example, had a generic marker cue, and I was saying to her, yes, and I was giving her food, and she's disengaging and switching, if I'm using, then going, okay, I'm going to use toys, there's a possibility that she could switch off from the training session in general based on the reinforcement. So the advantage I have with using a reward-specific marker is I can explain to her that the reward that she wants, clearly, is still available in this session because of the marker cue, the marker word, yeah? So obviously the takeaway from this is that I need to be mindful of what she does prior to a training session, which is, really obvious in these instances. Again, just a little reminder, because she has been making good progress with her food and her toys, I have deliberately been working on using lower value food and switching to a high value toy. And that's a little note to self, in that maybe the food now can be a little bit more enticing to switch between the two things more fluidly. I got some reaction when I used my fast moving food with her, when it was more stoic and in position. That wasn't as strong, so the takeaway from that would be to work on her understanding of that marker cue with higher value treats. The problem that I'm going to have is then she's unlikely to switch back to the toys. So rather than me progressing to try and teach her a behaviour which requires me to be able to have all those skills, feeding in position, going for a toy, etc., I'm going to stick with just establishing those marker cues. The reason that's really, really important, an important step in this process, is then you don't have the fallout of the dog, trying to learn something really, really specific, like a sit stay or a heel up position or something really technical, and the dog then is being given a reinforcement which either it doesn't value or it doesn't have enough desire for. And what that can do is sour the dog's learning of that behaviour, as opposed to the real fix is to go back and work on your reinforcement processes. So hopefully that makes sense. You can see a real training session where a dog does what a lot of dogs do, where they go, I'm not quite sure about what you want. Heck of this thing. Where they're a bit confused, where she goes, no, I don't feel like doing it for whatever reason. Yeah, good girl, you can have that now. You can have Mickey. Where the dog does what a lot of dogs do, they'll switch off. Often, getting a training session where the puppy is seamless and fluid doesn't necessarily help you learn. Pop, come here. Come on. Hey, you. She might want to go out, actually. So that's a good place to stop. So I'm going to pop her out. I'm going to come back and see if there's any questions. Actually, let me see if there's any questions first. Okay. So you can see me working through challenges when a puppy says, no, I don't feel like it, how I handle it, under the banner of reinforcement-based dog training, being aware of my reward-specific markers and essentially her response. And I'm reading the dog to go, actually, it's not appropriate to use that reward marker in this situation. So because it's going to devalue the behaviour, I can think on my feet, revert to toys because she's got a good association of that. Initially, I didn't think that her reward RSM for toys was strong enough, but actually she's showing me that her training is progressing with toys. It's actually having more value than food. So that's another little interesting takeaway for me, that I know she's always had a really good toy drive. When it was high value food, she'd always struggle to switch. Now what's happening, because I've worked on her toy play, is now devaluing the food. That could be the other thing that's happening. So the fix for that would also be to do some sessions where I do toy play and fast-moving food, so to keep her engaged between switching the two before I teach something technical. So just going to see if there's any questions on teaching RSMs. I don't know if there was a... Oh, there's any questions on RSMs? Yeah, she looks like she needs a break in the loo. Yeah, she definitely does. She's gonna. I think that's what she keeps on going to the back door for. Welcome to the world of poodles. Yeah, I think she does. I think she keeps on going to the back door. So I'm going to run around and see how she is, and then come back and see if there's any questions. So let me pause this live for a bit, or I'm going to stop the live and come back on and see if she does want to go out for the loo.